I reached a 70% win rate climbing to Masters playing an aggressive Aurelion Sol style. I'm also ranked number 1 Asol NA according to Poor Professor. Today we're going to be analyzing a game that I go 26-0 in a Masters lobby, and hopefully you'll learn something new about Aurelion Sol. Let's get right into the video. Now here we are on the Rift, boys. I thought I'd make a video just like kind of talking to you guys about pretty much everything that's been going on. I don't think I'm going to have cuts in this video just because I want to fit as much information to this game as possible. So as you guys saw, I did reach Master Tier playing this champion, and I also have kind of found like a new love for the champion. Like he's before, like when the rework happened, like all of us were kind of disappointed that he was just farm till 20 minutes type of champion, not really any sorry for stuttering, any interaction in the lane. But with this newfound playstyle, the champion is just 10 times more fun, and honestly, I'm having a blast playing him and also finding a lot of success, of course. This is a game that I go 26-0 on. So the thing with this thing is you want to start Q in the lane. As you can see, Jace tries to walk up. There isn't really a champion that can match your trade level 1 if you just start Q. As you can see, like Jace is an AD champion. He even has Longsword. I started Corrupting Pot. I usually start Corrupting Pot in every single lane that I play. And as you can see, I'm going to go for those Q taps. Now, the thing with these Q taps... Also, Silas comes in for a gank here. Level 2 gank. And I get a nice little help coming from Silas. So, while Jace is dead, let me just talk about the strat a little bit. For the runes, I'm going to have the runes on the screen now. But basically, you go Comet, you go Mana Flow Band, you go Absolute Focus, you go Scorch, you go Presence of Mind, and then you go Coupe de Grace with double adaptive. And armor or magic resist, of course, if let me just skip ahead for you guys, if needed. But basically, the thought behind each rune is that a Comet is just super easy to proc with your Q, because the more damage you do, the lower the cooldown is. And then Mana Flow is just really easy to proc in lane with those little Q taps you'll see me do in this lane. And then Absolute Focus makes you do damage when you're above 70% health. So in the lane, you're usually not gonna get hit, and you can just trade for free. So you should be able to stay above 70% health, and it'll give you that nice extra boost of damage. And also, Corrupting Pot is good. As you can see, I got a seal, by the way, my first back. It's gonna seem weird with these first backs of what you do. Oh, lag. Oh, I thought it was lagging for a second. Level 1, you want to go for usually a Corrupting Pot, first buy, and then when you back, you want to opt out for usually a seal. And as you can see, Jace walks up a little too strong. Now, check this out. Most people would have backed off here, but playing this champ and playing this aggressive style is just basically knowing how to use your W aggressively. Your W is very linear, in which if you go in and it's not, and you can't really kill someone, you'll probably just die. But if you go in and you know that you can kill someone, you can get that reset, you can either get out or continue the chase. So Jace just walked up there, took a terrible trade, and I just punished him for it, and I shoved the wave. But back to the runes, and then we have Scorch. Scorch is just, again, easy to proc in lane, gives you that extra damage. And then Presence of Mind. Presence of Mind is needed because I personally do not go a tier item. A basic build that you might see... I'll actually just have like the build path on the screen now, just so you guys have a better understanding. But you want to rush Rylays first, and then your Mythic, which is either Ludens or Liandry's. I think in this case, I go Ludens. A lot of questions on my stream is that, hey, Sol, when do you go Ludens or Liandry's? You go Ludens if the enemy team looks squishy, and you go Liandry's if the enemy team looks tanky. Simple as that. It's not really any like thought process behind it. That's just how it is. Here we are back into the lane. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video just like covering as much information as possible. There's not going to be any like fancy edits to this. It's just going to be me talking about what I did to climb to a 70% win rate. Now, what I did to climb to 70% win rate is, yes, I play this aggressive style, but there are times where in some matchups, like maybe like an Akshan or Tristana, where you can't really get priority in those lanes, where you kind of are just forced for that farm till 15-minute style, which you just need to recognize when's that the case. You would think that Jace is a losing matchup, but as you can see, I'm 34 CS to 30 CS. He has 2 deaths already, but I did have jungle help. And I did solo kill him, so... There are a lot of lanes that you might think are losing for Aurelion Sol, but they're actually winning, like Orianna or Syndra, where those laners, they poke you out, but I have found a way. Looks like a fight is going to cop out. Silas is going to hop in, and I get a nice, nasty E. And I'm just going to W forward, pick up a nice little double kill, and then it's going to be a 2 for 2. Now, with this playstyle, guys, you can shove and roam like old Asol, especially when you have a lead. So now here I am, 3-0 up. You're going to see how I start to manage the wave here. I do have blue buff. I'm going to shove the wave. Now, basically how I got these kills is 1. I got a solo kill because I recognized when to W forward. A general rule of when to W forward in this lane is if they use their abilities on you and they don't have any CC to cancel your flight, just go in. Of course, if you're low, don't go in. But that's just a general rule. I'm going to shove the wave and then I'm going to back. I think I get canceled here, unfortunately. Now Silas comes into the gank. I drop the R. Unfortunately, it misses, but it doesn't even matter because I'm so strong. Again, guys, learning how to play this aggressive style is just... If you can just figure out how to know when you can go in and when you cannot, trust me, you will drop 20 kills a game. How do I feel about Aurelion Sol, like, in terms of power? Again, this isn't a master game, and I'm 4-0. In terms of power-wise, I think Asol, of course, is really strong in low elo. Like, we know that already. Like, everyone knows that. In terms of high elo, I think he is as good as you make him. If you're a good Asol, you will go 20-0. If you're a bad Asol, you will go 0-20. It's simple as that. I do think, however, though, that he's pretty strong. Like, I'd probably put him in A or S tier right now, if you know how to play him. The argument that I had before is that how, like, Asol is really bad in high elo is... I don't think that's the case anymore with this playstyle, because you can get prio. You can get prio, and you can interact, and you can roam. So with that in mind, I really think this champion is pretty strong in high elo. Here we are in the lane. As you can see, I have Sork Shoes and Blasting Wand. Gonna shove the lane. See, I'm just shoving. I'll probably look bot here. You can just shove and roam. At this point of the game, it's 60 CS. Excuse me. It's 60 CS to 48 CS. This guy cannot contest the push. I'm gonna go to Dragon here. Again, look at me. I'm not just farming mid. I'm setting up objectives. I'm walking to fights. In fact, this is exactly how I got these 4 kills, is I walked to a dragon fight. And I just W towards this Karthus. And we're just not going to get anything, and I go back to lane. What else could I talk about with you guys? I mean... But yeah, I mean... You guys, I don't think... I know, like, the title of this is probably, like, aggressive whatever, but... I don't think it's a playstyle, guys. I think this is how Aurelion Sol was intended to play. I dropped the ER. This guy walked up a little bit too far. And I drop an easy kill. Again, guys. Again. Do not be afraid to drop your whole load on enemy champions. Look. This guy walks up. I know I have damage. You want to lead with ER, WQ. Just gets completely nuked. And he's dead. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably... I'm not even flaming. Like, a lot of you guys probably would have missed that solo kill. But a lot about how to understand how to play this is just go for those things, guys. Just go for them. Check out your damage. Know your damage. Know your limits. And you can solo kill. Like, I know there's, like, a command on my stream right now that says, like, Asol cannot solo kill. Guys, he's probably one of the most prolific solo killers in the mid lane right now, just because, like, if you get a lead and the enemy uses like, if you're facing like a Jace, for example, he has no way to cancel your fly, and if you're strong, you can just fly towards him and kill him. So again, just literally just go play like 20 games, play this playstyle, look for Q taps, look for solo kill opportunities. If they go bad, they go bad. Whatever. You're probably gonna int a little. I know Diablo. Again, if you guys don't know who Diablo is, he created this playstyle, so pretty much all credit to him. He said that he inted a lot of games to get to the point where he is right now, which is Challenger Asol, #1 Asol in the world, according to Poor Professor. And I take a lot of credit to him. By the way, this account, Will Be Best Soul, is not my 70% win rate account, but this is still a master game. I think I'll have the OP.GG in lobby somewhere, but probably like a 100 LP average game. And look at that damage, almost. By the way, I want to talk about that that combo right there. As you can see, Jace walks up. I'm level 9 and level 7. I go for this flight. And look how I continue the Q with my flash. He's queuing, I'm queuing, I'm queuing. He decides to flash away. And if you guys didn't know, you can, if you W, Q, and then flash before your flight ends and hold down your Q will just continue. So I almost got a kill there, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too wide. I did get his flash though. And just gonna shove the wave. Let me speed it up a little bit for you guys. Grab the plate and just reset again. No room to breathe, guys. Guys, this champion is not who we thought he is. Please, please, I'm begging you. Please look for these opportunities on the map, these opportunities in lane to just fly in like this. Just fly in like that, guys. It doesn't even matter. This guy is completely dead. Maybe. And we did get that Rylai's, so that extra slow does help a lot. We have 10 steel stacks. Again, guys, just fly towards them. Just fly towards them, boys. They cannot do anything, I promise. Unless you're playing against like Syndra or any champion that can cancel your fly. Just fly in, especially when you have a lead like I do. Again, shoving the wave. Gonna look for a roam opportunity in the bot side now. Shove and roam. Shove and roam. Shove and roam. But it looks like my team is fine, so I just walk back to the mid tower and pick up a plate. Jace is probably completely tilted. He's 0-6 in the game. And I'm just going to shove and probably take a base here. Are you guys getting the pattern? I mean, I can't talk to you guys, but hopefully you guys are getting it. Basically, what I've listed out so far is that take these runes, look for those Q taps in the lane. Ideally, you're not probably going to have as good as a start as I am this game. I'm 6-0, but level 1, you start Q. And for example, like matchups like Katarina, if they have a weak level 1, you can walk past the minion wave and just Q them. They can't do anything about it. What are they going to do? They can't cancel your Q. You can't outtrade them. And also, if you guys didn't know, if you walk past the minion wave and start queuing, the enemy minions will not aggro you for some reason. This is consistent. This is just a thing, an Asol mechanic, is that if you queue, even when you're in enemy minions range, they will not aggro you. So look to abuse that for sure. Gonna go for a roam opportunity in the bot lane and don't really find anything, but Rankar decides to go in. I mean, he trades 1 for 1 and I get another kill. Again, guys, what did I do? I shoved. And then I roamed. And then we're just going to get this bot tower real quick. Oh, I'm sorry. I completely missed a kill. This guy just walked up. Again, this is just knowing my limits. Jace walks up. I have Rakan with me. I mean, this tower is almost dead. I was pinging for this. Nice knockup by Rakan. EQ. Dead. At this point in the game, if you are 8-0, you need to completely just start flying towards enemies and kill them. It's just as simple as that. So, Jace not having too good of a game. He's 0-7. I am 8-0. We grab this tower. I back off. I get a nice little reset. Now, if we're talking about my buys, I got Rylai's first. And this is why you want to go for that seal, is because I have 10 stacks now. I can really push my lead with this. And I bought a Blasting Wand, which is looking to buy Ludens. Now, a lot of people are confused about Luden's buy. I personally do not go Roa or Crown anymore. Why don't I go those? It's just preference. I don't think Roa is terrible. But if you're playing this playstyle, this aggressive playstyle, you want to go for the most damage as possible, which would be either Luden's or Leandri's. Rengar looks for the steal, and he actually gets it. And I think we're just going to clean them up here. I get a nice low Q. Another kill. And they're just going to completely group up for me. Guys, once you get a reset, it's just over for the enemy team. Especially if you're ahead. Especially if you're ahead. 10-0. Look just like, okay. By the way, guys, as far as like stacking goes, how many stacks do I got? 175 at 15 minutes, and I wasn't even focused on farm. Don't get this mixed up that with this playstyle, you completely neglect farm, because that's just not the case. You want to do both. You want to play aggressive, and you want to have efficient farm. In this case, 129 CS at 15 minutes is pretty good. Not as much as Tryndamere though, but if you mix interacting with champs, landing those big Rs, as you guys know, every single champion you hit with an R is 5 stacks. And you can also get stacks with your E if they're inside it for long. You get stacks, and also every tick that is landed with your Q also gives you stacks. If you pair those up with heavily interacting with champs across the map and farming efficiently, your stacks will, trust me, it's going to be way higher than if you were just falling asleep and just farming. So here we are in the bot lane. Jace uses a Q. I mean, he's just completely dead. Like, if he uses any of his abilities, the only thing that this guy can do is probably just E me away, but you just run him down, boys. You just run him down. Don't be afraid. The reason I don't walk up here is because I don't know where Rengar is, but that's why I'm a little hesitating. Just walk to the side lane, grab some farm, and we're going to head back into the mid lane. Don't get me wrong, even though I'm 11-0, this game is still pretty close. They're only 2k gold behind. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say, this Tryndamere is a challenger player. His name is Fogged for the win. I think he has a couple hundred viewers on Twitch right now. So this game is, like, I saw like comments saying like, oh, this playstyle only works if the enemy mid laner is just bad or whatever. No, that's not the case. That is not the case, because this is how you're supposed to play the champion. Trust me. It's undeniable. Like, whether you're facing Faker or Chovy or whoever the heck, you can pull this off if you know exactly what to do, when to Q. It's just about pushing your limits, pretty much, which is a lot of the reason why this playstyle is so fun. Not playstyle. I'm gonna stop playing this playstyle. This is how you're supposed to play champion, guys. I promise. This is exactly how you're supposed to play the champion. Anyways, back into the lane. We have 25 Magi stacks. Gonna grab a pink ward. Also, small little detail. Diablo told me not to buy pink wards. Don't take it for granted, but he said that you are the carry. Don't waste your money on pink wards in solo queue. If you're in a team environment, it's a little different. And again, I just know that if you walk up, if you know when to W, you will drop 20 kills just like that. Karthus walks up randomly. I know that I have flight. I just Q him. And again, I'm just running around the map playing team deathmatch at this point. That guy's dead. 14-0. Alright. Wanted to burp. And yeah, I mean, we're kind of just chilling. Let me just skip forward for you guys. Heading into the mid lane. Gonna grab this mid tier 1, sorry. And just playing with my team. The enemy team is still in it, by the way. This Tryndamere is doing just as well as I am. In fact, we're pretty much even in gold, even though I have 14 kills, so the game was a little bit hard to close out. We do have Big R here for this next fight. Currently sitting at 247 stacks. And Tryndamere is destroying my 0 and 9 Scion. And we're just going to have to get this drag real quick. And I think you guys saw blue team traded Baron there, so the gold is even, guys. Like, this game was like pretty hard to close out. I had to carry this game. If I die here, it's pretty bad. So, I mean, pretty much we're just doing basic macro here, just shoving waves. And I'm, of course, continuing to look for pick opportunities. I should have seen that I could W towards the sky. Oh, I might just do it. I want to talk about, like, the W, though. So, obviously, I'm 14-0. I haven't died yet. But it's really easy to make a mistake on this champion, guys. Like, I really emphasize, I call it W lines, which is where exactly you place your W. I was a little scared to W to this guy because Rengar's a thing and I have a 700 gold shutdown, so I know I could have killed him. And this guy's gonna die to my shockwave. Oh, I get a double kill actually. It's just about finding the medium of playing safe and just knowing when to go in. I know like the champ, like people say like those champions so easy to play. I don't know how to explain it, but how can I explain this? By default, by looking at his abilities, yes, his abilities are easy to understand, but they're not easy to use, if that makes sense. They're easy abilities to understand, but they're difficult to understand how to use them. Now, what do I mean by that? Your Q, you're literally standing in place and CCing yourself to do damage. And the higher elo you go, the harder that is to position it in a way that you can both output damage and stay safe. Blue team is going to walk into the jungle here. It was a nice E placement by me, but my team gets kind of decimated. So, hey, I have a shutdown. I just decide to walk out. Again, this is an example of knowing my limits. Like, okay, I have a big shutdown. I know I'm fed, but I'm not fed enough to 1v9. Asol's not a champion. I feel like on old Asol, you could kind of outplay with movement and spacing to actually do a 1v5 or a 1v3, but new Asol, even though if you're strong, you still need your team to frontline to do damage. Why? Again, it's because you're standing in place and you're outputting damage and you're queuing, so you're just pretty easy to catch out. 16-0, 186 CS. Fogged for the win. Challenger Asol. Not Challenger Asol, Challenger Tryndamere is pretty hard carrying this. Let me skip ahead a little bit. And I'm kind of just looking for a pick pretty much. I mean, we try to catch out the Tryndamere here, but he's just too fast. He's going to pop his ghost, and he's out. And no, Silas does not get him. So, I mean, if I were to list it out, early game, you want to try and just go for those Q taps. Mid game, you want to look to shove and roam if you have a lead. So shove and roam, look for roam opportunities on the map. You can definitely roam with your W. Honestly, some games I have been roaming more than I did on old Asol just because of how low your W cooldown is. And if you have those stacks, I missed that R by the way. If you have those stacks, your W range is actually pretty far. So I definitely think you can roam on this champion. Now we're just going to head it back to the base. Skip, skip, skip. Now here we are in this dragon fight. I mean, 21-30, it's pretty much an even game state, even though that I'm 16-0. Tryndamere is in the bot side. I mean, we're just getting free dragons. With Aurelion Sol, guys, is you can do objectives really, really fast, especially if you have Leandries. So I've had a lot of games where if you can find the Baron angle, you can do Baron in like maybe less than 10 seconds. Try to look for the W. Again, you guys are seeing me like go W for it and then cancel. That's okay to be doing that just because you don't want to int. Again, it's really easy to int on this champion. Oh, I might have died there if that guy stayed a little bit longer, but he does back off. Again, I'm still going for the sideways. Our inhibitor is broken. But honestly, that inhibitor being broken is really scaling up my stacks. As you can see, I have 300 stacks at 26, which is a little over 11 stacks per minute. Pretty slow mid game, not that many kills, but definitely want to ramp up. You just want to know when exactly to farm and when exactly to look for picks. This is just period where I want to look for picks. And as you can see, we went Rylai's, then we went Ludens, and we have Mejai's, and now we have that Rebadon's decap. Obviously, you want to go Void when they're building MR. In this case, they only have this, so I didn't think it was needed. And look at this angle that I'm doing. If you guys didn't know, you can Q over the wall here and stay safe, especially on red side here. But we're kind of afraid to do it. We're going to ping towards this play, towards the mid lane. Karthus, he's just going to get completely popped. We're going to trade 1 for 1. And the game is still pretty hard for us. And we're just going to take a base here. Again, I'm 17-0, guys, but I'm not just going in, but in this case, found the angle. And we're going to get 18 kills. Jace is topside getting our inhibitor, but I don't think we care that much. Again, guys, this game was really hard for me to stay alive, but I managed to do it. This is exactly why I wanted to show you that I kind of figure out exactly... I mean, obviously there are games where I still make mistakes, but at least this game, I really got down when it was okay to W in and when it wasn't okay to W in. And that's just a big part of learning the champion, honestly. Rengar, gonna run away. I mean, we're slowly getting a gold lead, but even then, the game state is still pretty even. As you can see, I pinged towards this dragon. This is what I'm talking about, these Baron angles. Me and Silas can definitely do this if he hops over the wall. And look at this, watch this. Completely shredding. They kind of know, they kind of don't know, but they're even late to this. Watch. Just watch. Beautiful. Beautiful Baron take. That was exactly down to the second. If I didn't call for that a second later, then they definitely would have a chance to stole it. But those are the calls that I'm talking about with this champion. You can really just melt any objective on the map with your Q placement like that. So please make sure to be doing that in your games. As here we are with Baron. We're also on 3 dragon points, and Karthus just kind of walks up here alone and just completely dies. Sorry, Mr. Fogged. And we have Baron. We're just going to wait out his passive. Jace is splitting in the top side, though. I think we're just going to go for it. Rengar is going to get knocked up. He's going to flash away. Now, I'm told to match this. I do have TP, which is exactly why I was called to match, but my team is also doing work. So this was just a good call by my team as well as me. I'm pinging that I have TP. Sol is up in a couple of seconds here. Maybe like a minute. And this is just overall good macro. They can't do anything. Tryndamere can't really split. Kind of just shut him down at this point. 20-0 now. Gonna grab a little bit extra gold here. Oh, sorry. I completely missed that. I grabbed this wave here because I think I was looking for an item. Oh, I think I just TP. Yeah, they force, and then I just dropped the TP here. Here we are. Boom. Nuked. Boom. Oh my gosh. Those global R's. I don't think it'd exactly end here, but I did Zalnia the hourglass. Oh, here we are. Here we are. See, I didn't want to end there. I didn't want to end there. You are very squishy with this build, by the way. It's not like the Ryle's build or the Roa build where you have a little bit of leeway to kind of just go in, or the Crown build. So again, it's really important to know when exactly to W in. And we're just going to get the Sol here. And go headed back to the base to get our final items. And this blue buff. And this Gromp. Pretty much just gimme gimme. And here we are, headed back to the base. I think we just finished the hourglass here as well as get a nice little elixir. Here we are, full build, 958 ability power with blue buff, Infernal, and Baron. So basically at this point, it's kind of hard to misplay. It should be a GG. I also have full build, so 390 stacks, by the way. Now, we're just going to look to siege top because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. It's the only towers that are left. It's just basic League of Legends macro. And we're going to look for a flight here. I'm going to try to drop an R onto Karthus, but he's just going to flash it. Unfortunately, I don't have R for this fight. Sion. Kind of going in. We're just going to play this methodical and smart. And just pretty much just wait out the fight. I mean, my team is kind of going in. I get a nice E. I mean, they get it completely executed there. I fly forward. What are they supposed to... You can't do anything. Hey. You can't do anything. So yeah, boys, that's pretty much the gist of the playstyle. Hopefully you guys learned a lot in this video. If you guys have any questions in the comments below, I'm gonna do like maybe like a Q&A type thing in the comments below. So if you guys have any questions, I'm gonna be up all night if you guys do have any questions and want me to answer them. So please send your comments below, and there's gonna be our 26 kill, 26 0 and 4. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.